Nice name. Did your mom pick it out for you? Changing a name is cool as hell. More people should do it, and it should be easier to do. My mum changed her name back when she was 18, and when my brother and I found this out as kids, we were first shocked and horrified, and then quickly started writing lists of all the coolest names we could think of. So, for folks who don't know, my name is now Dimitri, but it wasn't the first name on my list. I came out when I was like 20 and didn't really have a name prepared. There was the classic masculine version of my birth name, which grew on me a little, but honestly, nah. No shade to anyone who chooses their name like this, but I felt like if I was paying several $100s for the name change, I wanted something completely new. So we started making another list. Anderson and Victor were both on the list purely for the sound quality, but I already looked like an emaciated 18th century lad on the verge of death from pneumonia, so they got removed pretty soon after they were added. I got some pretty good suggestions. Ned and Vince I both like, and for a while I genuinely considered taking my mum's old name. It's unisex and still one of my favorites. While it felt like a power move, I think it would have been a little weird to tell my gogo. Then there's the weird names. Sai. Sounds cool, short, interesting. I liked this one quite a bit, and I thought it could have been short for something longer and stranger, like Cypress or Unicycle. Then there was Frug. This was from my clown years. There's just something I really love about the idea of a strange name. If someone calls you Frug when you ask them to, you know for a fact they're cool. In the end, the reason none of these names were picked was because I started my 3rd year of university. And sitting in class on the first day and having to introduce myself, I panicked and mentally revisited my list. I ended up going with Dimitri for convenience's sake. It was the one I'd been going by the longest online and would be the one I'd respond to most readily. And after using it at uni, people started using it at home and it just kinda stuck. But where did Dimitri come from? Urban Dictionary describes kinning as the verb form of kin, a large community generally centering around relating to a character one way or another. Also the act of doing so. Essentially, after looking at one's character and identifying with them, or as them, the definition's split.
Number 1. Coping. Many people kin characters to cope with their situation or illness. Number 2. Reincarnation. Others believe in multiverse theory, and when someone dies, their soul may hop between universes. 3. Just for fun. Kinning isn't that serious. Only identify characters for fun of it.
Okay, so listen. First of all, I did not kin a character named Dimitri. Secondly, I was 15 and deep in the Tumblr trenches, and the kin community was absolutely fascinating, but also just a fun place to be. As someone who at this time very much didn't like themselves, being able to identify with characters I liked and present online as a character was a great way to make friends while having a clear identity. As much as I might look back on myself in my old blogs and say, cringe, this was a really big part of my development and a bigger step towards my gender exploration. My favorite character, or the one I identified with most, wasn't a human, and did not have a human name, so when I wrote self-insert fanfiction and roleplays, I changed the name for a human scenario. So from about that time, in certain places, I went by Dimitri Duke online. Then I just took the first name to my other accounts because I liked it, and it wasn't like anyone on those accounts would see a connection. So when I started uni in 2019, I said my go-to internet name and didn't even think about where it came from. And you know what? That's cool as fuck. Cringe culture is dead, I've killed it, and I know a couple of people online who legally took the first, middle, and last name of their kins, and they're the coolest people I know. The thing I was saying earlier about why I like weird names also applies here. It's my name and I get to choose the origin story. When I was born on St. Patrick's Day, my parents scrapped the original name they had planned for me to give me an Irish one. So who's to say what actually makes a name? Me, I say it, and I say everyone should change their names if they want to. It's dope as hell. I'm sick of meeting people with names I've heard before. It's too confusing.